Hello, Freedom Guy 55 here again. I had just seen Conan the Barbarian. It stars Jason Momoa, who plays Conan, and basically it has the whole plot. It surrounds a magic mask that basically one tyrant, who's played by Fang, who was the evil general in Avatar, and he has a daughter, of course, who's played by Rose McGowan, who you might know as Cherry Darling in, the Planet Terror movie, and by Robert Rodriguez. And then, of course, you have Ron Perlman in the movie, and you also have, Rachel Nichols, who plays the love interest in the film. Well, anyway, it's about this magic mask and such like that, and he's wanting to put it together, and the one person who has the final piece is Conan's father, and he winds up actually causing the death of Conan's father to find this piece. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it, and Conan winds up growing up into Jason Momoa, and he's wanting revenge against this guy. So, what can I particularly say about this film, except that it's probably one of the worst films I have seen this year. Seriously, this is a bad movie. Terrible movie. Literally, I mean, oh my God, the action sequences in this movie are done so ham-fistedly. I mean, swear, they are clumsy. I had a hard time figuring out what the hell was going on in most of these action sequences. I was like going, okay, what's going on? Okay, he's flipping over. Oh, okay, it's done. What the hell happened? I was like literally seeing this. And then some of the sequences that were actually more, action sequences that were more thought out, like a scene where basically in the middle of the movie where you're fighting, where Stephen Fang's fighting, Jason Momoa, and basically, it's in the middle of the film, so of course, nothing can really happen. But then he gets drugged in the movie by Rose McGowan's character, who basically seems to play like a female Freddy Krueger, except for being a burn victim. Except she's not a burn victim. Anyway, the one thing is, she drugs him, and yet, oh my God, so he's vulnerable. So what does Stephen Fang do? What does the actual evil tyrant, the villain of the movie, do? He butts him by the end of his sword. He could cut his head off 3 times already, but all he does is just hit him with the end of his sword, and then he falls over. Oh my God! None of these sequences, none of these action sequences were ever really that well thought out, except for probably some, sand demons that were in the middle, that were in this movie, that was, an action sequence before this one. Seriously, some of these people were even, some of these bad guys that they have, these henchmen in the movie, were seeming to be billed as if they were these characters that were like, just going, okay, he's gonna fight, you're gonna fight Conan, and every time that you hit, your sword hits his, go, I mean, seriously, this is so terrible. I mean, literally, and I mean, Jason Momoa actually has potential as an action star. You can actually tell. But I didn't really feel for his character of Conan in this movie. The emotional sequences that we get in the middle are absolutely ridiculous, involve ridiculous crap that I was just like, oh my God, this is stupid. I mean, I was either laughing at these action sequences or I didn't even know what the hell was going on with these action sequences. And I don't blame pretty much any of the actors or whatnot. I mean, the only person that acted good in the movie was Ron Perlman, and yet that wasn't even really that good. And it wasn't even really that good. And I'm like, oh my God, I am blaming Marcus Nispel for making this movie. And of course, he has, the action is pretty much just absolute slaughter. That's what it is. It's just slaughter. Which makes sense, because of course he's known for remaking Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Marcus Nispel is. But in this movie, he's trying to make a man film, and he just utterly fails. It is so sloppy. This movie is really sloppy. Oh my God. I mean, after an hour of this film, dealing with what was going on in this film, I was checking my time to see when this movie would, pulling out my, phone, right? And trying to check the time each time to see, when this movie was over. It's like, when is this over? When is this over? When is this over? I was over and over again. I was like, oh my God, this movie. Do not see this film. Do not see it. Please, don't see this movie. I'm warning you. But of course, you're probably going to see this movie. It's probably going to make millions of bucks. Everybody's going to love it. And everybody's just going to fall for the stupid shit in the film. It's ridiculous. It's like if WWE just wore barbarian uniforms, started slaughtering each other with axes and swords, and then when the last people were standing, went buck wild on the audience. Which actually might help the gene pool in certain circumstances. Oh, that was bad. But anyway, this movie is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Do not see this movie. This movie deserves pretty much 1 star. Why? Because some of the costume design works, and there were some good images in the film. That was the only good mark I can actually give this movie. But the rest of the film is just really so ridiculous. I was either laughing or not even knowing what the hell was going on. Seriously. It's bad. Don't watch this movie. Thumbs down, 1 star, done. And that's it. And I thank you for your time, and have a nice day.